back this week. I hope you've had a good week, and I hope that you are learning a lot about marketing and enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do on your projects because you've got some really interesting topics for your projects. Several of you have ideas for marketing businesses, and several of you are thinking about helping family businesses or just going out on your own or even working with the company you're working with. But you have some good ideas, and it's going to be fun to work on them together. I hope by now you're really beginning to think along the lines, and this unit should help you a lot. This unit we're going to be talking about product. And first I know, yes, there's a cat on my chair. Those of you who are animal lovers, as we've discussed, know that there's nothing, if the cat wants to sit here, there's not a thing we can do about it, and this is a little window of time that I have to talk with you. So we'll just ignore Shadow and hope that she doesn't make too much of a ruckus. This week we're going to be talking about product. We're going to be talking about product in two ways. First of all, people generally think of a product as a thing, but a product can be a thing, an idea, or a service. We take some of the same marketing approaches with each one of these, but of course we also design some approaches that are unique. When we're thinking about a thing, we're thinking about not just the physical thing, but everything else that comes along with it. And I'm going to use a rather simple example. I have a razor here, if I can bring it up. Okay, there it is. This is a little razor that my friend brought me from HEB. It's a cheap razor. I'm trying to get it. Okay, this is better. It's a cheap razor. She paid $5 for it. And it may not be very impressive to you, but I have been shaving my legs for almost 50 years. And no matter what razor I use or what skin lotion I use, I still always have a bathtub that looks like it was used for Scene in Psycho, and walk around with toilet paper on my legs. So she brought a razor to me, and first I was taken with just the shape. It's easy to use, and it has rubber on the handle so it doesn't slip and slide. It has 5 blades, so if one blade doesn't catch the hair, the next one will, and it's flexible so it will go with the contours of your body, your leg or your cheek, rather than being stiff. Then it has around here a very soft rim that's coated with soap and lotion, so as you're shaving it also smooths your leg and makes it soft and covers any little nicks. Now again, this may seem unimpressive, and it was $5. It came with a little container that it could slip into that you can stick to your shower wall, and it really holds, unlike a lot of things that don't stick. And it came with another cartridge, a replacement. All of that for $5. And it had a sign on it, on the package, that if we didn't like it, I could bring it back and get my money back. All of that contains what we talk about when we say the product and its offering. It's not just a physical thing. It's everything else. It's what the product does for us. It's how we feel about it. It includes the price that we paid for it. This has turned out to be such a good razor that even as cheap as I am, I would have gladly paid $15 for it once I found out how great it was. Because the first time I used this razor, I did not cut myself, I did not bleed, my legs were soft, and everything was cut. So it does everything that a razor is implied to do. When we say implied warranty, it's by buying this product, we can assume that this product is going to do what we want it to do. An express warranty includes that we know a written thing that it will perform as designed, and if it doesn't, we can have our money back. So it's simplistic and it seems sort of silly, but it's a good example of what we want in a product. Ideas are also a product. If you do not think that President Obama and Governor Romney are products, then you've missed a whole lot of the campaign, because it is not only the person, it is the party they represent, it is the objectives they offer, it is the plans they tell us they have, It's even as much do we like them. At one time there were candidates who said, yeah, but would you want to drink a beer with the guy? That should be our measure of voting for him. I'm not saying who you should vote for, I'm just saying that a political campaign and the candidate itself can be a product. Also a service, getting a haircut, having a doctor's appointment, things that we can't touch or taste or smell are still products very much, and we'll be talking about services in a couple of units from now. So that said, one of the things about products is packaging. We package it in such a way that it will attract our attention. It will protect the product in shipment and make it easy. It will give us information about the product. That's especially important in anything we're going to put inside our body, food and medication. We need to know how to use it, need to know what's inside it. If you have a child who is allergic to peanuts, or you are allergic to peanuts, you have to absolutely know that there is peanut in a material, because sometimes a peanut can throw a child into a deadly anaphylactic shock. So what might be just another food thing for us can easily kill somebody if they don't have the proper information. So we're going to be talking about products and how we market them, how we brand them, how brand equity is involved, and how we go about identifying our product and using that to gain loyalty and build value for our product. In Chapter 11, we're also going to be talking about the lifetime of products. Every product has a life cycle. They're introduced at a time in which we spend more money and expense and time getting people to know our product and understand it, and we get very few profits. Then they go into a period of growth where our expenses begin to drop and our profits grow. Then they level off, a time when everybody generally knows about them, and the kind of things that everybody knows. You don't spend a lot of time marketing, but then they ultimately have a decline and are replaced. When VCRs were introduced, for example, about 25 or 30 years ago, they were extremely expensive, and yet they offered such a great value that people bought them. My first VCR I bought for $800 at a time when our minimum wage was about $4.50 or $5, but it offered a value that made it worth it. The value being was that for the first time in history, you could watch what you wanted on television when you wanted to watch it. At the time, I was taking a correspondence course, a television course, but my job changed and I started needing to travel. So the only way I could watch those lessons in that course that was critical to that new job was to tape it and watch it when I came home. If it hadn't been for that technology, I would not have been able to take that course. So it had a value that made it more important than the price. There are 4 kinds of product categories that I want you to talk about. One is convenience, something that's so quick and easy, and an easy way to remember is you often find it at convenience stores. There are specialty products. They're sold in, they're shopping products sold in a lot of places, but they're items that we might need to spend a lot of time looking for and deciding. There are specialty products sold in very concentrated stores, things like the Smart Car, Mercedes, Dooney and Burke purses, things that you have to go to a certain store to get. And finally, there are unsought products, things that we either don't know about or we don't want to know about. Bail bondsmen, funeral plans, defense lawyers, insurance, things that we really would rather not have or buy, but we really do need it sometimes in our lives. You're going to be watching some videos and talking about products that you've used and products you'd like to use. I think you'll have fun, so I will be seeing you next week. Enjoy.